old Gen 1. Well, I got to flip over to the comments so I could see.
I'd buy that. Everybody'd buy that.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, God damn it.
That's my favorite fucking character in that show.
Oh, God.
They should make a chicken entirely out of skin. I'd buy that. Everybody buy that. Oh, did I get you?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, just like sitting there like,
oh, God. I'd buy that. Well, to be fair, like going to KFC, that is the best part of the chicken is the skin. So.
Oh, well, duh.
Yeah. I had somebody tell me it's not.
Their chicken's mediocre. There's not a lot of substance to it.
No, it's just
all that. Yeah, they're in those fucking those confined cages, and they don't really grow muscle on them, so the meat's like jelly.
Yeah, but they're tender at least.
No, but like I was talking to older people back in the day, KFC or Kentucky Fried Chicken back in the day before they had to renege that name because it's technically not Kentucky Fried Chicken because they changed the recipe.
Yeah,
that's why it's KFC now. But so anyway, they said back in the day, Kentucky Fried Chicken was like
the shit.
People, they didn't want to go out. They just got a bucket of chicken for their whole family, and it was delicious. And it was, so yeah. I definitely wish I would have. It was in the 90s. I don't think it was. I think that was at the end of the Kentucky Fried Chicken thing, but the chicken was just different then. It just tasted better.
It was,
and one of the original ingredients of that batter though is MSG.
Yeah. Well, I love monosodium glutamate. It's great.
Oh man, yeah, you do you. Apparently, it's safe. Apparently, some people say it's safe.
Scientists really checked that shit out when people were worried about it, and apparently, it doesn't do anything wrong to you. So,
well, I don't know. I get a fast heart rate whenever I eat something with MSG in it.
Well, I mean, I also get a fast heart rate when I eat something that's got a fuck ton of salt in it too. So, I mean, like,
no, I'm talking like it's like caffeine wise, like.
Oh yeah.
If I have something with MSG, like
energy drinks, because I feel like my heart's gonna explode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what I feel like when I eat MSG. I might be sensitive to it, but like yeah. I mean, you do you. You're free to choose to eat whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And KFC is goddamn.
Scientists like check it out though, because it is a Japanese thing. A Japanese guy invented it.
Right.
And a bunch of Japanese scientists and like international scientists and stuff checked it out and tested it for like 10 years. And it doesn't seem like it does anything long-term to you anyways.
Well, they came up with it. Follow the money, I guess.
That's fair.
When you're talking about tests and scientific studies, follow the money. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I know I'm sensitive to it, so I can't really do much of it.
I mean, that's why Chinese food tastes so good. I mean.
Oh yeah. Oh God. I actually haven't had. Right. I haven't had Chinese food since I found out I had celiac. Almost 4 years ago.
Well, yeah. Everything they make also has gluten in it.
Yep. Exactly. It's gluten and MSG. So
you would think doesn't have gluten in it. Does in Chinese food.
Oh Jesus Christ! Well, it's the cheapest possible food, and it's not even Chinese food. It's Chinese American food.
Yeah.
Because
actually, Chinese food's good. It's a lot of veggies and shit. So
and it's poor people food.
Yeah,
it's chicken feet and chicken and sauces that you can make very easily. Rice.
Yep.
And it's good. I don't know why. Well, here's the thing: is like what happened from what I know of this particular food history is in the 1800s when there were a lot of Chinese immigrants coming in on the West Coast.
Well, yeah, the railroad wasn't going to build itself.
Right. Asian American, please. Fuck Walter. We're not talking about a guy that built the fucking railroads here.
Yeah.
But no, like so it seems like, the Chinese people had their own parts of town and they'd have restaurants for Chinese workers and families to go eat in.
Yeah, I wonder if it was called Chinatown.
I think, well, not at that point, probably, because... But
was derogatorily called Chinatown.
Right. So white people would go in. White people just randomly started going into the restaurants and like they sat down, and the Chinese people were like, okay. So they gave them their food, like the normal Chinese, the real Chinese food.
Yeah.
And the white people liked it. They ate it. They paid, and they left. And they're like, well, shit, we can make money off of this.
We can make
and
this
rightfully
better,
so.
yeah.
Yeah, fucking A, you're capitalist.
Why let all the Chinese people make all the money on Chinese food?
No. I'm saying but so the Chinese people, they started adapting it. They started making this fusion of like, well, what do white people eat, basically? And they kind of fused some flavors and shit with typical American food. And they're like, well, we can expand. And rightfully so. That's how capitalism works, man.
That is.
Hey, you have an idea, you want to make money, do it.
That's right.
So that's why it's beautiful. But so what I'm saying is like Chinese food at Chinese restaurants, it's really not. It's more American than it is Chinese.
Yeah. Same thing with like a lot of Mexican food.
And a lot of Tex-Mex at best.
Yep.
And well, there are like that restaurant that we went to a couple times.
Good Mexican restaurants that are real Mexican.
But here's the thing: is like a lot of the shit's Tex-Mex. They serve that too because they got to make money. But if you know how to look on the menu and you know about Mexican food, they have that too available, and they make it well. Like they make it really well. And so like the carnitas at the place we go to,
it's awesome.
It's like the same shit I had in El Paso.
Yeah.
At an actual Mexican restaurant, not like a Tex-Mex, but like they do it right. But they also have options for people that don't really know about Mexican cuisine.
Yep.
Like Tex-Mex is like, okay, you have tacos, you have chimichangas, all that stuff, which are kind of Mexican, but
so
it's
Mexican
Americanized.
Food, but still American food.
Americanized. But so that's really smart. You have both options available to make, and you do both very well. So, but yeah, God, we're talking about fucking food. Jesus
I know,
Christ.
right?
We always talk about food.
Oh, well, it's making me hungry. Can't do that,
Right.
But that's a lot of. I don't want to cook again though. So
yeah, cooking's a lot of work. So we've been there's these gluten-free chicken nuggets at Walmart that I tried. Yeah, they're cheaper than the other option that actually make me kind of sick. And
is it because they put gluten in them?
No, it's just the whatever they put in the breading. Anyway, we found this other brand at Walmart that is like a newer brand, and it's cheap. It's cheaper than the other one that we were buying for like years. And so, long story short, they're really good. They don't make me sick. And the oven went out last week.
Ooh.
Like it just won't fire. And I don't know if it's the pilot light or anything. And I'll maybe investigate that.
Or you got a gas leak somewhere and your pressure's not high enough?
No, it's fine. But anyway, the oven went out. And so I pulled out an appliance that I haven't used in probably
the air fryer.
3 years. Yep.
Like a white girl.
Dude, let me tell you what. So heating up the oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit takes about a half hour. It takes another 20 minutes to get them to where you want them to be. The air fryer was 10 minutes. It was they were cooked perfectly. And I'm like, wow, I used no propane on this one and 10 minutes worth of electricity.
Yep. I get it. I mean, if I had an air fryer, I'd probably use it all the time. My mom said she was going to get me a really nice one for Christmas. It didn't show up. Kind of figured, but
weird.
Yeah, I know, right? It's I'm not going out of my.
Yeah, it's a great. Yeah, I'll do it right now, and then you forget about it. 10 minutes
and
later.
Then she never. To be fair, I haven't seen her without a drink and a smoke in her hand since like my sister was born, and that was 24 years ago. So
I'll give it up for 9 months.
Pretty much. That's about it. Yeah. And even then, I bet she still snuck a few in there. Like she entirely forgot about it at one point and was like 2 puffs in and was like, oh shit, that's right. I can't.
Oh, dude, my mom smoked fucking Marlboro Lights the whole time she was pregnant with me and drank Diet Coke. That's probably why I can't handle caffeine and nicotine makes me ill.
Yep. Probably.
But no, I mean, it's like physically, besides like a couple things that are not necessarily genetic or, like from that, they're genetic and whatever. Nothing's wrong with me medically.
Fair.
So it's like, I mean, you're drinking fucking, or I don't know if I don't think she drank at all when she was pregnant. But
it wouldn't surprise me if my mom did, to be honest. Not at all. Not in the slightest.
That's why you got such a little head, but it's a big size.
That's right.
Punishing you.
It's because my head's so wide, yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of people watching tonight. It's weird.
It's just the middle of the week. Everyone's busy.
Well, no, usually people
here now where tons of people are getting busy. Shit's opening back up across the country. Stuff's getting moving again.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, and all the people that are watching. So that order that got stuck in customs.
Yeah.
Finally got an email today from one of the customs brokers saying, "Hey, they just want to know if you got any pictures or anything of the items so they can find them when they go through them." So, long story short, I might be able to get the inventory, like the people that ordered boots and all that shit. I may be able to get that big shipment of really cool shit that's been held for 2 months soon. And I also ordered another big shipment, so whatever. But the end of the month, I have
like for like 6 months, and
right. Well, at the end of the month, I have surgery, so it's like all this shit's going to be here in a week or two. Hopefully,
yeah.
I'm gonna have to fucking work balls. I'm gonna have to hire my neighbor to come over and help me sort shit and fucking
get orders out,
ship things. But no, it'll be good. So yeah, that was good news because I thought my order was just gonna be forgotten about, and then they were to seize it and auction it off or send it back, and I was gonna be out all that money and whatever. But
no, it's just terrible coronavirus inefficiency.
Right.
Like with all the ammo production right now.
Right.
But
I mean, this happened before without coronavirus, so just saying.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, it's also something the U.S. government touches, so it's incredibly bloated and inefficient.
Yep.
So
exactly.
That's how the U.S. government works. Just throw money at it till the problem solves itself.
Yep. Throw money at it that we don't actually produce. We just steal from the fucking citizens.
That's right. Well, hey, at least tax season isn't until February 15th this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they already pushed it back. Yeah. So the IRS already pushed it back, which is great because I didn't get my last stimulus because they had to gear up for tax season. So there'll be an extra box, the IRS said, on your tax forms that you could say you didn't get it.
Well, all my stimulus is going to go to is fucking federal taxes anyway, so.
Yeah, so it'll just be $600 less you have to pay.
Right. So I'd like to get my money back and then pay it, unwillingly to the feds.
Yep. So just know you got that little extra box on your tax form this year.
And it's just a really good thing that, I don't mind paying taxes this year because, it's a good thing that the current administration has a plan for how to beat COVID.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to fund that. It's all good.
Sure. I'm all for paying taxes as long as it goes to shit that actually does something. So.
Right.
But what do you do?
God damn. Yeah, what do you do? It's just funny.
That's all right. Totally. That's half burned down to rebuild. So I mean, that's where my tax money's going.
Oh, Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened there.
Yeah, nothing important happened there.
Fiery, but mostly peaceful.
Yeah, and then
so I don't even know what you're talking about.
All the rubber shotgun slug wounds, and it's gosh, oh man. But I assume my state taxes this year are going to be a little bit higher because of that.
No, it won't be. It won't be until next year.
Oh, okay, then we're fine.
You know what I mean? Because the people who are in charge of you that are very competent and very in tune with things, they want to make sure they assess every bit of damage before they actually.
Yeah, so that way they could really fuck us
before they charge the taxpayers. The amount owed.
Yeah, this guy lost a 50-cent pencil. We better give him $10 for it because he had to wait too. So.
Well, this guy's total loss was $500,000, but we're going to charge the taxpayers $1.5 million just to cover any future losses that might be incurred.
Yeah, or just in case some of that money,
what I mean?
Run off due to clerical errors or something. We want to make sure everyone gets taken care of. But what do you do? I still don't know how.
Yeah, that's the thing is
a $2 billion with a B surplus. It was one of the highest of any state.
Yeah,
$2 billion with a B state surplus to now $2 billion with a B in the hole in 1 year.
You get incompetent leadership.
Yeah, we do.
In Minnesota, what sucks is the cities are the only thing that matters in that state.
Yeah, it's over half the population. Yeah,
right. According to the electoral thing, and what sucks is Minnesota's a beautiful state. It's a great state with a lot of really, really good people.
Yeah,
I know that. Obviously, you're one of them. You know them too. Minnesota and Wisconsin and just the upper Midwest, mostly really good people.
Mm-hmm.
And they get fucked by the cities.
Yep.
And that's around the country too. But like up here, it's even more visible. Like you just said, you start out with a fucking surplus. Okay.
Yeah. $2 billion.
You know, everybody that shit on Jesse Ventura, at least he actually said, hey, we have a surplus of your money. We're going to give it back to you because we don't need it because we're the government. We're not.
Yeah.
We're
providing a service for you.
We're not a charity. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the last time that happened, and they made goddamn sure of that. Mind you.
And the sad
I don't think an independent can win again in Minnesota or much less around the country.
No.
An actual independent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, give all the shit you want to Jesse fucking Ventura. The guy is an independent.
Yeah.
Legitimately. He's not
people bought. Really liked him.
Yeah. He's not bought and paid for. And that fucking scares the establishment at the state and federal level. Oh my God, it scares them.
Well, you should have seen when he went to go give those checks back, all the people that are like, you can't do this. We need that money. And he's like, no, give it back. I don't care.
Yep. Yeah. And he was ridiculed for that by the government and by Republicans and Democrats. Weird. Yep. None of them work for you. Newsflash. Yep. If you think that Republicans are on your side or Democrats are on your side, they're not. Yeah. Anyway, we'll go because of the title of this video really quickly. Solomon Grundy, favorite Milsurp 30 caliber cartridge. I'll answer first, then Devin, you can answer.
All right.
To give you more time to think. I've actually thought about this. I actually think my favorite military surplus 30 caliber cartridge is the 7.62 by 51 NATO. It is extremely versatile. It is anybody can handle it. I think. Like if you shoot a 30-06, some people it's rough. 7.62 by 51 NATO is, I think it's that line where anybody can fucking shoot it, and even in a bolt action, and survive it. But it's still a high enough powered cartridge to shoot at 1,000 yards, which is what most people who would need that, you know, in World War III or whatever. 1,000 yards is way beyond the expectation of your actual accuracy and your maximum effective range.
Way beyond the capabilities of most shooters.
Right. And I think the 7.62 by 51 NATO is my favorite Milsurp 30 caliber cartridge.
All right. Mine's a 7.62-54 because if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Why?
It's the oldest serving military cartridge in the world.
Yeah. So but like why? Okay, go into detail. I know it's a great cartridge, but like go into detail why you think it's your favorite.
Well, I like it.
Or why it is your favorite.
Well, as a collector, I actually just really, really liked rimmed ammo and everything like that, which a lot of people don't. But I like it because of how easy it is to headspace and how much easier it is to manufacture and stuff like that. And it also has a fairly good ballistic coefficient. There's tons of different types of rounds out there for different types of things, different weights, different lengths of bullet and stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
And it comes in different types of case metals and different types of powder. And it seems to be, obviously, if it's been through, 2 world wars and tons of insurrections and tons of rise and falls of empires and countries and all this other stuff, and they're still making guns that use it, it's probably pretty good.
Still making the ammo militarily.
Yeah. I mean, it's been made continuously from 1891 to 2021. So.
Yep. So that's 110 years.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's more than 110. 130 years.
130. Yeah. Yeah. All right. 130 years.
And it's used as a military cartridge, a currently used military cartridge, like front line for 130 years.
Yeah, and I don't foresee it going out of service anytime soon because it
No,
doesn't
the
need to be.
Russians don't plan to replace it until 2050 at least. So,
yeah.
But they
even then,
probably
it's like
in like World War II and however many different times. But
yeah. So no, that's actually a really good answer. I appreciate that. Like
I like it from both a practical standpoint because it's also a great hunting cartridge. It's great rifle cartridge.
Oh yeah,
gun cartridge, great all around. It's also got a lot of history and collectability to it. So
yep, and that's why I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. That's
yeah.
good. But oh wow, yeah, guys, you're watching. We don't agree on everything. Like I understand his viewpoint.
Yeah.
And I actually do agree with that statement, but
yeah,
I would say that for different reasons, obviously.
Yeah, I'm more of a history guy, and I go occasionally on a hunting trip, but I'm not planning on going out and shooting people at the end of the world.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like okay, so damn, that fucking rope did not want to come up. So okay. Another factor too is why I would actually take your choice over mine is so say we're up north in Alaska, we're up in northern Alaska, and it's just us.
Yep.
With our guns. Okay. The 7.6254 is going to drop most things within a couple shots up there.
Yeah.
Okay? The 7.6251, if you had a bolt action rifle like the 2A or the 2A1, I would not be as confident of the actual power of dropping something with the same amount of shots.
Fair.
Which is why when that round came out, it was put into semi-automatic platforms. Or not, that's not why, but like leading to my next point is I think a 7.6251 in modern situations, hunting, survival, you name it, combat, is good because in a semi-automatic platform, it's a lot more controllable than a 7.62 by 54R.
For sure. It was designed as a semi-automatic cartridge.
Correct. And so I just wanted to bring that up. Like the 7.6254, you have a Mosin gun, okay? You have an M39 or just an M9130, a refurb.
Yeah.
And a fucking polar bear is charging at you. You might drop that bitch in 2 rounds. You might drop it in 1, but let's be realistic. You're probably gonna miss a little bit.
Well, yeah, especially if you can get, you're up there expecting that, and you can get heavy 203 grain soft tip ammo.
That's slower moving,
but it's also like, big and it expands.
I know. Again, there's so many fucking variables. Same with the 7.6251.
Yeah.
It's like, do you have 150 grain hollow points? Do you have 147 grain M80 ball? Do you have 168 grain?
Yeah.
Match. But so my thing is, your choice is fantastic, and I agree with it. However, I'd take 7.6251 over that simply because it's better suited in a magazine-fed rifle.
True. It also has a better ballistic coefficient. So.
Right, and so, but when time is of the essence, would you rather just be able to fire 1 round and have the threat be eliminated, or would you rather
risk having to take 2 or 3?
Right, you have. But hey, you might get lucky with the first one, but you also have the ability to fire 20 fucking rounds or 30 rounds with the FAL or G3 or M14 or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, like, your choice is not at all bad.
New. I like it. I mean, it's been around for a long time, so.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And still, I love shooting that thing. It's, when you want to shoot a rifle,
the Mosin's a pretty good choice.
You shoot something that's chambered in 7.62 with 54 rimmed.
Yep.
And they still use the PKM, which is a great machine gun.
Yep.
It's really great.
Yep.
People think the Russians are just these stupid knuckle dragging fucks that, we're just, getting by. Like, well, no, they take influence from other countries and they make their own machine guns and weapons in general. And they make them to be able to have the shit beat out of them by some dumb idiot.
Yeah.
And still keep going.
Exactly. And the weapons are a lot easier to maintain and stuff too because of the cartridge they chose. The rimmed ammo makes it super easy to headspace and do maintenance on. Nothing really can walk out on it as long as you make the ammo consistent. So, and then a modern sniper rifle, the SV98, still chambered in 7.62x54. So,
yeah, it's that's a fantastic caliber.
Yeah,
it really is. It's I have no complaints except rim lock on certain weapons.
Yep, that is the thing. Yeah,
like so, and here's the thing: is like rim lock doesn't happen a lot with weapons or bolt action rifles, 9130s and shit that have the interrupter installed.
Yeah. I've had more problems with rim lock in Enfields than I have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But but here's the thing: is like I'd be bullshitting you if I said it didn't still happen.
No, I've definitely had Mosins
because it does, and it's like, I mean, in a combat scenario, depending on how intense it is, it's not a life ender, but it's just something that you're like, fuck.
It's a pain in the ass when you're really, depending on getting this reload and getting the rifle to work right, and it doesn't.
Well, and I think people think that, going off a little tangent, I think people think that combat is like in Hollywood, where it's like you only have a split second to decide. It's like that's a very specific part of combat.
True.
Most of combat is just you're sitting there. It takes time. You've got time. But still, fumble fucking with your rifle, that's not going to make you feel any better.
No. I mean, at least they did kind of try to remedy that with the Mosin where, if you do just bang it hard enough, it will go because the rim's beveled.
Right. The Enfield, no, you've got to drop the mag and figure that out. And
or shuffle it down and try to pop the rim over.
Yeah, the Enfield, So, these guys problems, but all right, in closing for this topic, I respect and appreciate and agree with your choice.
Yours as well. It makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And so if we had
30 caliber rounds in general, I like them.
Right. So think of every fucking milsurp round, 30 caliber round. If we boiled it down to 7.62 NATO and 7.62.54, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty hard to beat.
So we got 42 motherfuckers watching this bitch now. Woo.
There we go.
Well, 45.
Fair.
45 because I don't carry a 46.
Didn't some guy literally make a 1911 and 46 just because of that?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, there's been. I mean, the 1911 is like a super easy to copy fucking design, and it's super popular. Like if you spend all the money to fucking design it, you'll sell one. At least one. And I think there was a guy a while back, but I haven't made the video yet. So whoever's watching right now, you guys are a little bit ahead of the game. The 1911 I have, it's an actual 1911. It's not an A1. I actually don't enjoy shooting that thing.
No, they're a pain. Actually, they're terrible.
Well, first of all, it's a 1911, so it's heavy.
Yep.
Okay. Second of all, I'm trying to burp. So the heavy part isn't a factor for my fat, ogre ass. But where it comes into play is the beaver tail.
Really tiny on those.
Really tiny.
Yep.
I got hammer bite so bad on my fucking the web of my hand. Even my neighbor who has smaller hands than I do, not like tiny, but like he was like, yeah, this is
not like mine. Not like my sized hands where I literally wear a size small glove.
Dude, you would get hammer bite from this thing.
Probably, yeah.
I'm not shitting you. Yeah, we'll shoot it in a bit. Like, I mean, obviously I have ammo for it, and also I can't use anything but brass case.
Oh yeah, because they're picky.
Very picky. Like, and I'm not shitting you. I had so many fucking stovepipes with the aluminum cased blazer shit, which runs in literally every one of my other 45 pistols, different companies, different manufacturers, different years. Did not run in my fucking Colt 1918 or whatever date it is, 1911.
But it won 2 world wars, Mike.
2 world wars, actually. Well, 2 world wars plus Korea plus Vietnam plus First Gulf War. Gulf War.
But it's so good. It's the ultimate handgun.
It works. It is what it is.
Only
on the
ammo.
Yeah, on my review series, like the Mike reviews military surplus items or military items, I'm gonna do an honest review on that fucking thing.
It's not good. I don't know why people like it. They're not good.
Well, it's not good, but it's also not terrible, so we can't shit on it.
No, I mean, you got to think of when it came out. Like, still in 1911, people.
Oh, 1911, that thing.
That was going to be how a handgun was.
Right, and besides a couple things, the disassembly, it's a good base to have for a handgun.
Yeah,
which is why I think the Polish V's 35.
Yeah, but I mean, look at I have a Steyr that was made.
Yeah.
Literally designed a year later than the 1911, and other than in similar like profile, they're completely different.
Oh yeah,
nobody knew that was what a handgun was look like. You got to look at the Swiss and the Germans have the Luger. I mean, half the world still had a revolver at this time period. Yeah. Nobody knew that was going to be the set pattern. So if you look at the frame of time when it came out, it was kind of ahead of its time, and it probably was really good, but.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of them things where we're applying, modern take.
Oh, definitely am. I'm just saying. Oh, here's the thing: is there isn't a community today, like with a forum, saying that the Steyr model 1912 is the fucking best handgun and the fucking best platform ever designed. It's still relevant and all that shit. There isn't like a huge forum of that.
No.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
The Steyr, I want to get one. Obviously,
it's a clip-fed Colt 1902.
Right. Exactly. I want to get one, but I also don't think it's the best handgun in modern times because there's so many things. Now, there's nobody claiming that because it was outdated fairly quickly, and it wasn't really produced that long. 1919, right? That was it.
Yeah, they made them from 1911 to 1919.
Yeah. Yeah. So the problem I have with the 1911 is like, it was a great pistol. It still is fun to shoot.
Yeah.
I think that there have been pistols designed since then that outclass it and outperform it in every way, shape, and form.
Yep.
It's the same as the goddamn Luger.
Yep.
The P08, cool pistol for its time, neat concept. It was out with the P38 at the latest. It was outdated.
Yeah. The 1911 definitely hung on a lot longer than it really should have.
Exactly, because it's like,
I mean, look at 1982.
Yeah. Well,
and even then wasn't replaced until probably the mid 90s.
I literally know people who were in Desert Storm who carried a 1911 as a sidearm during that operation, 1991.
Mm-hmm.
When the Beretta M9 had been the pistol forever. It's like,
for 10 years already. Yeah. So,
I mean, okay, you want to shoot it, you want to have fun with it, you want to have the nostalgia. I get it. That's what I'm about too. To claim that it's the best pistol ever, the best pistol
like defensive and military pistol.
Oh, no. I go even further and to say that it influenced every single pistol design subsequently is a fucking bold, arrogant, and very ignorant statement.
Well, a lot of the best handguns ever, like the Tokarev.
Yep.
It's based off of the 1903.
Yes. Okay, well, but you have to know the 1903.
Yeah.
With the 1911.
The 1903 is probably way more influential than the 1911.
Exactly, because that influenced the 1911
Yeah.
The Tokarev, the high power.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like some really influential.
Yeah.
The Ruby, did it not?
Yeah. Well, it's literally.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong on
copy.
that? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a
but
copy
I think
of
this,
1903.
Yeah, the Spanish, like, I mean, obviously they put their own flair on it, but like that's a 1903 action, correct?
Yeah, it's just an economified version. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm not completely sure on that, but I'm confident enough to say that because I remember reading a huge write-up on that. Anyway, so if you really want to get technical, the 1911 is a copy or an improved version of a previous design that nobody fucking gives credit for.
Yep.
Marcelo Gonzalez. Is this the Argentine? Yes. Oh, I wish I could actually get the currency. I say this every time.
Argentine money. How much is that in like bald eagles and George Washington's?
But Marcelo, gracias. I really appreciate that. I really do. I don't care if it's 5 cents or whatever. Like
I don't know how strong the Argentine dollar is. So
let me see. ARS to USD. Argentine pesos. So he sent
50 Argentine pesos.
Yeah, it's 50 cents.
Oh,
which is what I said. I don't care.
Yeah,
like that's
50
great.
cents. Yeah, that'd still be cool. I don't think I've ever seen Argentine money.
Me either. And I love. See, here's the thing: is I love the Argentine history. I actually know a bit about it. I'm not an expert or anything, but like I'm aware of most of South America's history and who influenced them and who supplied them. Germany, big player.
Well, I know Argentina really doesn't like the UK.
Well, yeah, the Malvinas like that, but yes, you're right. Because here's the thing: is like the UK should have just said, "Fuck it, who cares?"
Yeah, there's like 50 people on that island,
but they were still being imperialistic as fuck.
Yeah, their empire was dying. I get it.
But again, that was technically theirs. They had conquered it. Yeah. So I don't have an opinion on the actual why and how it started, like as far as taking one side, because I think it's more gray than that. But the actual war itself, man, that was fucked up.
Yeah, it's the most modern naval battle we have on history. So,
yeah,
ships literally shooting cruise missiles at each other. It is the most modern naval battle we actually.
Yeah, it was fucking insane.
Yeah,
and then the British using the FAL and the Argentines using the FAL with full auto.
Yeah,
and the Brits picking them up because they're like, "Hey, this could be useful."
That's true, and also the Brits taking their boots because the DMS boots suck.
Oh God, yeah,
yeah.
So. Marcelo, if you wanna get in touch and all that shit and do that, I have a Facebook page, Mike B. Find it, send me a message. We'll work something out. I do appreciate the support though.
True. Even if it's only him some US dollars.
Yeah, I actually could. I'll send you a 1, 2, 5, 10, and
the cool $2 bill with the Declaration of Independence.
I've literally got $1,000 worth of 2,000 bills.
They're cool because I think that's probably the coolest looking bill because it has the Declaration of Independence signing on the back.
Oh my God, it's Thomas Jefferson too, one of the best and most underrated founding fathers.
Yep.
And so. But yeah, and Marcelo, I would appreciate the perspective of the conflict. And here's the thing: is when I look at conflicts that happened in the past, I try to look at it from every possible viewpoint.
Yeah.
With parties involved, because
exactly
I know example, right? So I was in Iraq, and I was in Iraq in 2009 to 2010, but only a couple of weeks there. I had one extreme view of I'm serving my country, I'm helping these people, I'm doing a good thing. Well, that changed when I learned other viewpoints later and like other facts and all that shit. And so when I look at something in the past, I tend to look at it more from the eye of everybody that I can possibly find involved.
Yep.
So that's why I would appreciate your feedback and your perspective, but I also don't want necessarily a British bad, Argentines good.
Fair. That's like how I was raised, growing up in Canada, which was basically still part of the Commonwealth.
Yep.
I got the British side of it, and that's about it. Until I started reading about it, and I was like, well, that's not quite what I was told.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and so that's the kind of thing that just be aware of that. If you're going to send me your perspective on a conflict, I will appreciate that and I will welcome it, but it doesn't mean I'm going to agree with it. Mind. Right. I try to be as objective, and I hate the term because it was so misused, open-minded about events that happen in history. I try to be as all those things as possible, because if you pick a modern stance on history, you're probably going to be susceptible to repeating or
it also ruins the history.
Right.
So
there are not just two sides to every story.
There's often like 20 plus sides to every story.
It's not like a fucking coin, it's a diamond.
Yeah, no, it's like a web of shit.
Right, but like, diamonds got multiple, but it's a web, I guess. But it's anything in history, anything that happens currently, hint hint, or in the past, is not just dichotomous. And if people try to lead you to believe that anything is dichotomous, you should question their intentions or knowledge.
Yeah. True.
There is no black and white.
A ton of money to buy your vote if no.
Right. There is very few. There are very few circumstances where it's black and white.
Or yes and no. Yeah.
They exist, obviously, but like compared to the amount of circumstances where things are gray, black and white is very hard to find.
Yep. I agree.
Yep.
Fair.
Oh yeah, exactly, Marcelo. It's Argentina at that time was not in a good spot.
That's why they did the whole thing.
Right. And it's but it was also so Argentina's doing that shit, right? Mm-hmm. You take Great Britain at that point, is going, that doesn't look good for the Argentinians. It would look good if we went and tried to liberate what is ours, what we think is ours. And so when you get into thinking about that, you're like, well, the Brits thought they were doing the right thing.
True.
The guys who were there,
Yeah.
It's like, well, why are we actually doing it?
Britain did the same thing like way back in the 1800s.
In the 1700s.
The exact same things that, Argentina was doing. They didn't want anyone weaseling in on them, yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's insane.
They just did it back when it took, a month for mail to get anywhere. So by then the war was over. So
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just it's very interesting thinking about how people justify things.
Yeah. Fair.
And I don't know, it's just people seem to be so quick to want to go to war, but they don't have to actually go there themselves.
They don't have to fight it, yeah.
Right. They don't have to fight it. They have to send others to fight it. And that's a constant throughout. Well, no, some places, the people that voted for war were actually out there and doing it. Although
the king of Syria, he literally bombed ISIS himself.
No, Lebanon.
I thought the king of Syria also did it too.
Lebanon.
You
Lebanon.
Sure?
Nope.
Does Lebanon even have a king?
Yep, positive.
Sure?
Nope, they don't have. Syria has a president. Lebanon.
I feel like I read about the king of Syria. Or was it the king of Jordan?
Lebanon, king. Jordan.
Yeah. I think the king of Jordan, he went and personally flew a plane and dropped bombs on ISIS.
Yep, you're correct. I knew it was not Syria, and Lebanon is very close to Jordan.
Yeah, Abdullah II.
Yep. Abdullah.
Yep. Yeah, he went and bombed ISIS himself.
Chris is in the house tonight. Oh shit! I don't know if you saw this, dude. I actually got an ACH. I got an XL. Check it out, man. Here's the cover you sent me.
Put it on.
These pads are so fucked up. All the shit's falling off them. So, like, watch this. Like, the gray part's falling off. So these pads are just. It's like, oh, great. I got a fucking. I actually have another pad set in the garage. I'm gonna probably replace these with, but yeah. Thanks, Chris. It's officially in my collection now, and looks badass. I got the Rhino mount or the MVG mount. I don't have the Rhino mount. That's on the other helmet, but.
Bam.
Greetings from Germany, from the Green Heart, Thuringia. I think I actually have to pee. Do you want to take like a 2 or 3 minute break?
For what? I don't have to pee.
Okay. Well, I'm just asking if you have to, but if you don't, I'm going to have to go pee.
Oh, no, I'm good. I haven't had that much to drink yet tonight.
Yeah. So, yeah, Chris, he's the guy that I was telling you about.
He got you that cool book.
Yep, the cool book. And I still have to read that. I haven't been reading lately.
Yeah. I watched the movie. I haven't read the book. But when I got to Afghanistan, one of the first things that I got to hear was all about that story. That was like a thing.
And how the U.S. fucked up.
When we got off the plane. So.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, anyway, that UCB Delta cover, that's fucking
nice.
That's fucking awesome, man.
That is very nice.
It's fucking great. So, all right, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm gonna go pee and
I'll answer questions. Oh yeah, flexing your.
Dude, I fucking love this pattern. I have since I was a kid. So,
fair.
Yep. It is what it is. All right, I'll be back in a bit.
Yes, I am still drinking Coke. We are, unfortunately, where I go and get all of my real sugar Cokes. They're all out, so I have to buy Coke in the can again. But hello, Vincent. Kevlar's, thank you. This is not Kevlar. So this is I'm drinking my Coke with probably my favorite American whiskey. And if you can find it somewhere, they should be charging you like $100 for this bottle, and they're not. It's substantially cheaper than that. So no, this is a Spectra helmet, and Spectra was a ballistic fiber developed by Honeywell in the United States, most famously purchased by France for their F2 helmet, and it is the very first standard issue helmet to be made in ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. So this being made out of Spectra means that it is ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. So no, I haven't. It's kind of weird with what I can get and what I can't get because I live so far from everywhere. Minnesota is a place where apparently it's really hard to get stuff. How did I get into collecting military? My very first ever helmet I got as a kid for a bike was like a Vietnam M1 helmet, and I beat the snot out of it. Oh, Golden's here. So, let's see. I am from the Northwest Territories in Canada. So.
right.
Welcome back. I was about to call the Coast Guard. I thought you fell in.
You're about to call the Coast Guard what?
I was about to call the Coast Guard because I thought you fell in.
I was peeing and then talking to my non-existent other half.
What? The weasel horse?
Yes.
Good old weasel horse. Is he done eating poop yet?
Yeah, at least he's still alive. What?
Yeah, fair. Have me wearing my CG. This CG 634 is like 20 years before my time. So this CG 634 is from my time. So
Are you done?
as far as I know, yeah.
We're just lagging really bad. Like I'm lagging probably. So
I don't know if I'm lagging or not. I'm also in beautiful.
No, you're not. But when I say something, it like takes you 6 seconds to respond, and I know that you're not lagging. So I'm just like.
Well, to be fair, I have been having some horrible internet problems lately. So
it's both of us now?
Well, because Spectrum all over the North Midwest has been so intermittent and shitty lately. Like, I literally didn't have internet for a whole week and a half. Zero internet. And
yeah, you told me that.
Tell me what happened or what's going on, but something catastrophic happened. So, Yellowknife, I'm from Fort Resolution, which isn't too far from Yellowknife. You might know where that is, being the only other person I've really met outside of the Northwest Territories that's from the Northwest Territories. So,
all right, let me go back and look at the comments. No super chats, so nothing strikes my eye.
I told Golden that he's in here.
Yeah, well, Golden is he
to be fair,
he
Golden
is
paid us much more money than probably everyone else combined. So
right.
I buy mine at Walmart, but I get it at Walmart and Sock Center. So
well, you also have to look at because we have it too in our shitty little Walmart. Actually, it's not in the fucking soda section. It's by
they put it in the Mexican aisle. Yeah.
Yes.
$3.50.
About $3.50.
Yeah, it'll cost you about $3.50.
$3.50.
Well, I'm just going to get my allowance for my pet Dinky the dinosaur.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah. There, this feels a lot better.
No, thank you for your service.
MSA.
Yep. The weather here,
Wintry,
but it's not bad. It's actually
it was nice. Yeah,
it's 20 degrees today.
Not where I'm from. I think it got to 12. So
or where you're at?
Yeah, about 12. Yeah, was the high. So.
Yeah. Well, here, let me see.
Because right now it says I'm currently at 7 degrees.
Oh, okay. So I got up to 13 here today, but it didn't feel that bad because it wasn't windy. That's the thing.
It was sunny out and no wind. Yeah. So.
Yep. See, I was 13 here.
81 in Florida. Fuck that.
Well, but this time of year in Florida is nice because it's not as humid as it is in the summer.
Yeah, but it's still 81.
Yeah.
As hot as I wanted to get is like 60.
Well, yeah, you the hardcore Canadian shit. No, between 70 to 80 degrees is like prime. Marcelo.
No, they made a lot more than 1,000 extra large baskets.
That was in 1 year.
Yeah.
And so they made Pasgets from 1980.
Oh, Mike's frozen.
Until 2000. Nice.
Any minute now. Maybe.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Okay. When did I cut out? What did I say?
You said Pazgets were made from blank.
And then what did you say? So I don't just repeat what you said.
I didn't say anything. I was like, we'll just wait for Mike to come back.
Yeah, no. So the 1,000 is 1 year that people said that, I think it was 91 and 92 that 1,000 were made in that year. They've been making Pazgets from 1983 until
2005.
2005 at least. And yes, there were not a lot of them made. If you find an XL Pazget, that's a good find, but they're not as rare as people would have you think they are. Most of them were sent to other countries.
Yeah, they did a lot of contracts of them, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jose.
So they're out there, but I have actually never seen one. I've actually never seen an XL Pazget come through my hands or even for sale, but they are out there.
Yeah, I had one at
a
one
large
point
is
and sold it.
A large is pretty big though.
A large can get really, really big. Actually, you can expand that out really far.
Right, a large ACH is almost. I was literally between a large and an XL for the ACH, and I got issued a large, and that was totally fine. Now that the ACH that I showed that Chris sent me the UCP Delta cover for, it looks big on me, and it's a little bit bigger than I need, but it still fits my head. An XL Pazget is fucking huge.
Yeah,
but they did make a lot of them. All right, Mr. Unclean, or if you're trying, yeah, okay. All right, you're done.
Boom.
It's like, just don't be a fucking idiot. But anyway, that's it.
Well, most people fit into a large, so the XLs are actually what I found cheaper when you find them. So.
And I found the opposite because they're not that common.
True, but I also found a lot of, like, how I found my lightweight helmet. I just found it labeled as a generic Pazget helmet where the guy didn't even say the size, and I just looked in the pictures and bought it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you get lucky like that. That's why I say with like military collecting, be patient. There's a lot of people that sell shit that don't know what it is, and you do because you spent the time and the effort into researching this shit.
Yep, I'm pretty patient. I'm willing to wait for the right thing to come along.
So. Oh yeah. Yep. But you also, another thing is you have to have the money.
That's it. Yeah, true.
There's been a lot of things that I've wanted and you've wanted where we're like,
the funds aren't right. Yeah,
that's exactly it, and I don't have the funds for it. But it's all part of the game too. It's the fun of it, of collecting something, is when those two things line up. Oh my god, it's fucking awesome.
It's like finding a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yep.
So.
Oh yeah, I'll show this really quick for those of you that haven't seen. Who knows what this is?
I do.
And why it's significant in the U.S.
German guy's still here, so.
German guy?
Yeah, from the beginning, remember?
Which one?
The one that said hello from Germany?
That narrows it down.
Well, I did just say Germany. That should have been a pretty big hint.
Right, but like people they're not that attentive. That attention to detail doesn't really matter. Yes, Max, but what was unique and cool about it? God, another one? Come on.
I think it's the same guy.
Yeah. Sorry. You're a fucking idiot. Trying to get me fucking deplatformed and banned. So. I don't have a problem with you saying that shit. YouTube does, and it's not worth it.
YouTube really does have a lot of problems with stuff.
Not the hill to die on. For sure.
At least I've had literally comments banned in some of my live streams that I didn't ban.
Yep.
And it's because YouTube is sitting in there watching a lot of live streams lately.
Yep. That's why I just kind of keep it to fun stuff like Militaria and whatever.
Yep.
So.
At least they seem to now be kind of realizing that we don't really have control over the commenters ourselves to a degree.
Right. But it's still like, hey, I don't like the spam. Just the constant shit.
Yep.
But would you consider Hakeem Thumb a myth like Iran Thumb? No. Because it is way easier on a Hakeem, especially when you don't know how the fuck the thing works, to get slammed.
Yeah.
God, I miss my Hakeem. But I didn't have to sell it, but I thought I did at the time. And after I sold it a couple days later, I
really regretted it.
Financially stable, and it was like, God damn. But yeah.
That is, by the way, I don't think I told you yet. That is a really good score on the helmet cover.
Oh, you did some research on it?
Well, no, from what you told me about it.
Yeah, they it was never an official helmet cover. It was always made from the Zelts that they had, the shelter halves. So yeah, it's I saw it in books when I was a kid. You know, I was in middle school and I saw books of a guy wearing this holding an Uzi. And
West Germany used the Uzi?
Fuck yeah.
I thought they were going to use some beautiful West German design, like everything else.
Oh no, they West Germany, like they fucking, and they still use the Uzi.
I mean, it makes sense, but like I always thought, you know, having HE and everything, they would have just made their own fucking over-engineered thing.
Yeah, it's the SMG 2, I think it was.
The SMIG 2, all right.
The SMIG. Yeah, the SMIG.
I like the good old SMIG.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, the Uzi is probably one of the better SMIGs. So.
Yeah, if I could show that on camera, I would. But
that paperweight you have?
Yep.
That awesome Denix replica you got?
Yep.
Those are allowed. You could show those. The replica.
Did you actually? Did you shoot that when you were here?
No.
Oh shit! Yeah.
We forgot about it. We literally talked about how we forgot about it. So.
Yeah, and the 9mm situation kind of sucks. So yeah, maybe it's a good thing.
It's pretty rough, yeah, right now. Trust me.
Do you have any World War II weapons?
Yes.
Somebody has not watched a lot of my content.
The vast majority, yes.
Right.
So, how many World War II guns do I have? I have one. Only 2, actually. Most of mine are World War I guns, so.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I can't even count.
All of them. Yeah.
I'm a collector. And here's the thing is like, you're like, where'd you get all these? Oh my God, you must be rich. No, it's been 20 plus years of collecting.
Yeah, you get into it. There's stuff that I bought for next to worthless that I see now that I still have that is like, that's worth $300 now.
Right. No, MP4. Anything fully automatic, you need to know the laws and the restrictions around class 3 stuff, like fully automatic weapons, suppressors, fucking short-barreled rifles. No, I cannot afford that.
True. And German and American guns have this weird thing about them where the price is always going to be substantially higher than everything else because they're German and American guns.
Yep. Nazi stuff.
Uh-oh, Mike. I think you got another person in here.
Yeah. Well, fuckity bye. I'm just sick of the fucking troll shit and people trying to be trolls. Figure your shit out and stop being an asshole.
Ooh, the Jungle Carbine Ishapore 2A1s. Those things
I've never heard of that.
Oh no, it was so after the 2As were kind of being cycled out of service because they finally made enough FALs. They still needed guns for like the police to use, and stuff like that. And so they cut them down and literally put Jungle Carbine stuff on them.
Oh,
so
okay.
Literally a 2A1 that they just cut the barrel off, put that flash hider on, and we're like,
well, and here's the thing: is I've fired a number 5 before, right?
Yeah,
a legit one. Was not pleasant.
No, they're rough.
It's a lot of recoil. They're loud as fuck. And
they didn't put that shitty rubber butt pad on them that actually focuses all the recoil. The Indian ones are kind of nice because it's just the normal SMLE butt plate. So.
It's the number 5 Jungle Carbine that I fired. It was not fun. It was accurate. It hit what I was aiming at, but man, it's like the M44 Mosin Nagant. It's a lot of recoil and a fucking hell of a report.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot.
Yes, most of India's guns for their military are still made at Rifle Factory Ishapore.
Yeah, it's like Springfield and Colt.
Yeah.
Like,
but Rifle Factory,
they're contractors.
Before World War I, it's been their number 1 arms producer in India since then. So.
Oh, God. I don't remove the wood stocks in my surplus rifles. If you fuck with a surplus rifle in any way, shape, or form besides firing it and maintaining it as it's supposed to be, you destroy the collector's value. And some surplus rifles have what's called shims in them.
Yes.
Where, like finish rifles, right?
Yes.
And
the vast majority of rifles, you can take the stock off to do maintenance. Some of them, I wouldn't. And the finish ones are that way. Some of the Swiss guns are that way.
Yep.
But for the most part, you can take them apart. But yeah, the shims are little stacked metal plates that improve the harmonics of the rifle.
And canvas.
Take the stock off, you can move those, and then the rifle won't shoot as good.
Yeah, and canvas. There's like a wrap around a certain part of the barrel, and
so.
Yeah.
So just be careful with that. But it's only usually a few models. So.
But still, like when
models are fine.
If you're talking about removing the stock to, I don't know, make it lighter, it's really not that much of a payoff.
Well, I think it just means to clean it.
Yeah.
And oil it. So.
Yeah. Thanks for the knowledge. You're welcome for the knowledge. Can anybody fucking spell anymore? Is that a thing in school?
No. Have you seen Americans? Yes, I am. You just gotta specifically at me. I don't have a lot of time, so I don't go on there super often. But when I do, if you specifically at me, it'll take me right to it, and I'll answer your thing. Or you could just send me a private message.
Yep.
So if it's really important, then I'll get back to you eventually. I know a lot of people that can barely read, so wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's sad to me. We have the capability of having everybody a 99% literacy rate.
True.
And people just don't fucking care.
Well, America ranks in general standardized tests right behind Ethiopia. So.
Yep. Well, there you go. Standardized tests.
Which is bad because, Ethiopia doesn't have food and they're smarter than Americans. So.
Yep.
An M16 Stahlhelm. I had an M18 Stahlhelm in a few videos. So.
Yeah, I actually haven't made a video on that one that I.
Oh, that gorgeous one that you got.
The 17, but yeah.
That thing's fantastic.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. Surprised you haven't yet.
Marcelo, you are not the object of what we're talking about.
You're fine. English isn't your first language.
You speak better English than most fucking people in the United States that were born and raised here speak. So.
Well, yeah, because he had to learn English as a second language.
Yeah.
Which means he probably was better educated.
That's why all the people that are like, "Oh, you're talking about me?" No, I'm not talking about you. In your English, like.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know. I found a lot of people that I've met for one group. Okay, so Mexican people who came here legally, they are here, they're citizens, but Spanish was their first language. They speak and type better English than most fucking
native-born people.
Native-born people, and it's like, why? How? Oh, because you actually take pride in the fact that you can speak a language of a country that you like.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's
rough. There's a lot of people.
Fucking insane.
And here's the thing, though: a lot of them just don't care. That's it. Just care.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. Anyway, that it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not going to get any better anytime soon. So.
I don't like it because that's one of the things. That's one of the symptoms of a declining society.
I mean, look at what happened with Rome.
Rome, and there's been more recent examples, but yeah, Rome is the biggest example.
Yeah. Their people got too comfortable, too complacent, too lazy. Thought that they would never ever be replaced in this world. The world needs them too badly, and all this other good. Kind of like America. And then next thing you know, gone. Dark Ages.
Their government got extremely corrupt and became basically an oligarchy. Weird.
Yep.
And the society became extremely hedonistic and fractured and divided.
Yep.
And then, oh wow, the Germanic tribes from the north that they've been fighting forever came in and fucking sacked them.
Yep, sacked him. Done.
Weird.
I know, right?
That can't happen again.
I'm not drawing any parallels. Yeah, that's it. That won't happen a second time. Come on now.
No.
I mean, look at the nothing ever happens twice in history. I mean, there was never another world war after the first one, right?
No. It was the war to end all wars. So
yeah, exactly.
Mike, do you like Mexican food? Yes.
I will eat tacos till my asshole bleeds.
Yeah. I think he means real Mexican food. And when I was getting ready to go to Iraq, we were in El Paso. We were stationed there, and we had Mexican cooks, and they had the U.S. prepackaged food, and they had the Mexican food that you could eat, which I didn't. I thought it was for them, but eventually they said, "No, it's for you." Yes, carnitas. Carnitas is like the good ones with juniper berries and fucking chilies, and oh my god, carnitas with what the fuck is the sauce? I can't remember the name of the sauce. I don't know. But yes, actual Mexican food. I fucking love the spices. I love the palate that they have. Not the Tex-Mex shit like tacos and enchiladas and shit, but like actual good Mexican food. It's poor people
hard
food.
To beat, yeah.
It's poor people food, and I love poor people food. I fucking love it because it's good.
It is good.
It's like, so you're poor, your life is.
It's also cheap.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's cheap, it's good, but your life is rough because you're poor, but you make up for it by making excellent food. That's what I've noticed.
True.
In a lot of cultures around the world, is your life may be difficult, but my God, is your food the only thing that gives you pleasure? And my God, is it
the only delicious. Enjoyable moment you have in life is eating? Yeah.
Yeah, no, food. See, here's the thing is, if everybody just stopped worrying about land and resources and fucking fake money and all that shit, and the human race was brought together by food, I don't think we'd have many problems.
I don't know. Have you seen how much heart disease and obesity there is in America?
That's not food. That's processed shit that they, in the atomic era, they were like, well, we have to have the culture, kind of used to processed military canned, shelf stable
I
foods.
agree. Corn syrup is the devil.
It's fucking awful. It's terrible.
We subsidize that heavier than just about any other crop, though. So
right, but I'm saying food around the world. I think every person in the world should have access to every kind of food that every culture and nationality produces in the world, because the world would be a better place. There'd be less fighting. Exactly. Food brings people together. It really does. It's like you can be fucking mortal enemies with a group of people.
Yeah.
And if they decide to offer you food and you go in there hating them, you're going to be like, wow, I like this. This is different. It's so good. And just the process of sitting down and eating food that's good and different and you like it, it brings us back to our actual human instincts of, hey, we're all in the same fucking boat together, right? It kind of breaks down a lot of the walls, the cultural and national walls that have been produced,
built up for centuries,
thousands of years. And I just think food is, I have chorizo. Oh my God. I have chorizo in the freezer right now. I get it the only place that I really found that had good chorizo around here was in Minneapolis, and it's green chorizo. And yes, exactly, it's a bomb ass breakfast. So what I do is I take potatoes and eggs, fry them up, and then I cut up the chorizo, the green chorizo, in there, and my Christ, it's fucking amazing. You don't have to season it. You don't have to do anything in that skillet because the chorizo's got all the seasoning.
Yep.
Chicarones, yeah, I fucking had those and delicious. But yeah, but I'm saying like food in general, when you try other people's food, so Indian food got its own flavor. It's sweet and savory. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. Middle Eastern food, almost the same, but not really. It's sweet and savory, but it's more savory. European food, depending on where you go, it's kind of. I think if everybody in the world were to be able to sit down in this big fucking thing and just try different food, there would be no conflict.
Well, I don't know about that. British food's pretty terrible. Like traditional British food's pretty terrible.
Sure, but people would still be like, yeah.
I mean, everything British is just make it as bland as possible and put it in a bag and boil it.
Well, do you know where they got that from? The Scandinavians.
So the British? I don't know about that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Have you ever seen Scandinavian cuisine?
Yeah, very bland.
It's white. They think salt is a spice.
Yeah.
That's where the Brits got it from.
True, but
at least the Brits eat sausage.
Everything is just boiled and gray.
Oh, dude, at least the Brits eat sausage, for fuck's sake.
So.
I'm just kidding. I know the Scandinavians, they have potato sausage, which is actually pretty good. Yeah. But, I mean, it's like, yeah, the Brits have shitty food, but like the Scandinavian food, because again, around here, everybody fucking comes from Scandinavia. They're their ancestors, and it's like, Jesus, man, like your food, it's all white and it's bland.
Yeah, it's all fish and potatoes.
Right.
Yeah. So,
I mean, I've never had actual lutefisk. I've smelled it.
Oh, you're missing out. It's good. It's like fish flavored Vaseline.
I'll try it. But like I've never actually had it. I've just smelled it and I'm like, ugh, ick. But there's other foods that I've smelled that are disgustingly smelling really good.
Well, it probably smells so bad because of all the poison they soak it in.
Right, the lye.
Yes.
But I did try a couple Christmases ago at my better half's family Christmas, pickled herring. Okay.
Oh, that stuff's the shit. I love that.
Right. And I tried it, and at first I tried it, and I'm like, huh.
The first piece, every time that first piece you eat is always like, I don't know. The second piece is great. Though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing is like, I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's not good. It's not bad. It's unique. And then all of a sudden I'm like, let me try another one. And I'm like, this actually is not bad. It's
you're
decent.
like, it's pretty great. That second one, once you get the second one in you, yeah.
Right. And yeah, so, but anyway, it's German food is fucking rich, very rich, very flavorful, very, very, very fucking savory, very savory. French food is
decadent,
mostly savory, but it's but like actual French, not like the weird cuisine, like Gordon Ramsay and fucking Marco make. French food itself is pretty. It's European food. It's savory.
Yeah.
It's eggs, meat.
Traditional French food is like you don't eat very much because it's so heavy.
Right. It's like German food. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's different. They got a lot of stews, a lot of soups, and meat dishes.
Yep. Songbirds, snails, frogs.
But here's the thing: is like with food, it's all about the seasoning and the spices you use and what you have available. What?
The French have a shit ton of that.
Yeah, sure, because their trading routes were better back in the initial spice trade. That's the thing is like Hungary and Poland and Eastern Europe in general and Germany, they use a shitload of paprika, which is not a native European spice. It's from Turkey or the Ottoman Empire at that point.
But they all had good trading relations with Turkey. So.
Exactly, especially Hungary because they're so close. So they utilize a shit fucking ton of paprika, which is good because paprika is amazing. But it's a European country.
I still have that stuff that you gave me, and I use it all the time. That shit is fantastic.
Yeah, that little sack.
Uh-huh.
That shit, that's sweet paprika from Hungary, and it's fucking good.
It is amazing. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I got a bunch of that shit. And then you go down to Spain, and it's their own kind of spice, right? But it's also influenced from North Africa and Arab people.
It's all the Moors.
The Moors, yeah. And so Spain is in Europe. It's not that far from France. It borders France. But the spice, the palate is so different. That's what I'm saying. Like, people need to fucking relax, stop at the political shit, and just accept and try other people's food. There'd be a lot less conflict in the world, I think.
True. Or we just let China take over the world. I'd be Chinese.
Well, yeah.
I'd be Chinese. I don't have anything against China. Why not?
Okay. God damn. Like, really? Like, you have nothing better to fucking do. Jesus, Bruce. But yeah, no, food is fucking fantastic, and
you already knew too much about military history, so you move on to the history of food.
History of food and spices. Yeah, I mean it's actual, like, history is so cool because everybody's like, I know history. It's like, what specific part and time period and speciality?
Exactly.
Because like the history of spices, my God, I can't even touch the surface on that. I know the absolute basic overview of certain spices that move from certain parts of the world and, were traded. And, sage was prevalent in Europe, but not in the Middle East and the Far East at one point. So it's like a pound of sage could be traded for so much shit. But I don't even scratch the very surface.
Exactly.
Of that historical topic.
Favorite German dish? You might have a good answer for that.
My favorite German dish, honest to God, is Rouladen. It is Rouladen with how the fuck do you say dumplings? Again, I fucking forgot. Kartoffel, fucking potato dumplings with the gravy and all that shit, and then red cabbage. That is my favorite German meal that I've had so far because Rouladen is fucking amazing. It's very time consuming and very tedious to make. But oh my God, it's just everything I like in a little neat pocket package delivered. So that's my favorite German dish. And it's a specialty dish because you can't just get it most times of the year in Germany. It's like a holiday dish,
Oh, yeah. I like sauerkraut.
Well, sauerkraut's not German. It's Asian.
Yeah.
sauerkraut's used in most European countries.
True.
As a kind of side dish or garnish.
Yeah, but I like sauerkraut.
Yeah, sauerkraut's amazing. I have some. I literally have some that I made homemade. That's fermenting in my pantry right now. I have red cabbage and white cabbage that's fermenting. They'll actually be done in about a week. Yep.
Fair.
Yeah, fair. When the fuck did you ferment your own fucking sauerkraut, bitch?
I have the pressure canner, and that's it.
No, that's not fermenting.
I know.
Dude, when I tell you how easy it is to ferment and I give you the kit that you need to ferment, you will fucking do it. Like, it's so easy and cheap.
Well, canning's easy too. I have the hardest part to get, which is the pressure canner.
It's not canning. It's not canning.
I know it's not canning.
No, you don't.
I do know it's not canning. Fermenting is totally different from canning.
Anyway, and by the way, kimchi is the best fermented cabbage from Rooftop Korean. Can't make this up. You are correct, sir.
Kimchi, yeah.
Kimchi, I'm actually gonna make that. I had a Napa cabbage with carrots and ginger, and then I had to go back to the fucking hospital for earlier this month. When I had that, the thing went bad. I lost fucking the will to make it. Kimchi. You ever had kimchi, Devin?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
God.
Oh man, it's so fucking good. Oh, it's the best. It's like sauerkraut that you can eat more so as a snack and get away with it because you're like, well, it's got carrots in it,
Yeah, and it also I think is much more appealing with much more dishes than sauerkraut.
Exactly. Sauerkraut is, kimchi is, you can have it with literally every dish you make as a side.
And sauerkraut's, only good with a couple things.
Yeah, and well, I don't know. I would disagree with you.
I mean, I'll eat sauerkraut at any meal, but I'm also not normal. So
well, sure. That's what I'm saying is like you're like me, where fermented foods, like especially cabbage, is just you could eat it with any meal as a side.
I'll eat sauerkraut for breakfast. I don't.
Well, I eat sauerkraut out of the fucking jar, as you know. Like, you've seen me fucking do it
all the time. Yeah.
It's like you get good sauerkraut and fucking A.
Yeah.
But it's fermented food in general it's super healthy too. Like,
way healthy.
Your body needs bacteria, and you get the good bacteria from fermented and dairy is technically fermented.
Well,
like yogurt.
I'm lactose intolerant, and so I can only do certain things. So I can't just eat yogurt.
Right. No, that sucks. But like kefir, the liquid yogurt and shit.
Is how I get a lot of that. So
right, exactly. You get the same probiotics or similar ones. The lactic acid, though, oh my god! No, there's no alcohol in sauerkraut. It's lactic acid.
Yeah. Because for alcohol to be formed, you're going to need a lot of sugar, and there really isn't a lot of sugar involved in.
Nope. It's all, and that's here's the thing: is when the fermentation takes over, I'm sure there is alcohol to begin with, for a trace amount, but then it just converts into lactic acid.
Yeah, it all gets processed again once the right bacteria takes over. Yeah,
dude, it is. I might actually do a YouTube video on trying my first batch of sauerkraut.
You should.
I think I should because it was just cabbage and salt.
Yeah, that's all you need, and water.
No, didn't even need to add water because the cabbage has so much water.
All right out of the cabbage.
Yep. Yeah, I sliced the cabbage on my mandolin and then threw it in a jar or threw it in a bowl. I smashed it for about 10 minutes. Crushed it down to get all the water out and get the cells open.
Yeah.
Packed it into a fucking jar, added salt while it was in the bowl. Sorry. Packed it into a jar. Packed it down, put the stone on, or the glass thing on top, then put the pickle valve is what it's called on top of there. Make sure it was open, and just set it in the pantry.
Let her there you go.
And it went from a nice green color to a almost white clear color now, and I really cannot fucking wait to try it. It's going to be amazing.
Yes, this is a CG634. It's identical to this one, except this is the first gen, this is the second gen, this has the Gen 1 cover, and this has the desert cover. Because I
actually think that whole design is better than the Pasget.
It is. Well, I mean, you got to think of their similar era. So
the liners suck, but like the
liner isn't bad when you get used to it, but it's not.
Well, same with the Pasget. Like the Pasget liner sucks. That's what I'm saying. Is like, if they could make the CG634 with the padding system, that's a better shell, which is what the Virtus is. Well, not really. They don't have a padding system.
The Virtus is the same thing as the CG735, which replaced the CG634. It's the revision version of the ECH. It has a suspension system in it still, but.
Do I have a mustard YouTube? Not yet. Well, I actually have made the channel. I'm probably going to start that this year after my surgery and all that shit gets done. And it's the name of the channel is already locked in. It's Saucy White Boy.
Oh, well, that's going to get pulled for racism immediately.
Well, no, it's fine as long as it's racist towards white people. So.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
But no, I will have
racist against your own race. So
what's gonna be funny is I'm gonna have Jesus fucking Christ, guys, really? I really have nothing better to do than make that channel and have people of all ethnicities that I know and I'm friends with come on there and try different sauces with me. So jokes on them.
Sauces, as long as it doesn't have a lot of dairy in it.
Yeah, you're white though. I don't want to have you on my channel.
I'm Canadian. I'm super white. It's different.
Yeah.
Super white is, yeah. Super white is a thing. I've seen a polar bear in the wild. That's how white I am. Don't do that, by the way. Polar bears suck in the wild.
Polar bears and black bears are the only bears that actively hunt humans for food.
True, true.
We have black bears around here.
At least the black bears around here are tiny. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
bigger dogs than a lot of the black bears.
Well, but would you want to fuck with a black bear?
No, fuck no. But like, I've seen. To be fair, I've seen some like trail camera footage. I've seen some pretty fucking large black bears around here.
Dude,
but all the black bears that I've like actually seen, like I'm looking at this bear.
Well, that's because they're the dumb little cubs. They're the dumb little. No, I was out deer hunting back when I was in high school, and I saw a dumb little black bear, and I'm like, "Oh, that's funny." And I'm holding the long branch number 4 Mark 1.
Yeah,
it's got 10 rounds, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And all of a sudden, it hits me. I'm like, "Oh, that's the. Oh, fuck, the mother's around here somewhere."
Yeah, where's the mom? Yeah.
Big old black bear.
That's the time you don't want to mess with a bear is cub season. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he ran up a tree because he was scared of me. I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then I was like, oh, shit, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And so I just went back the way I came to my truck. I sat in there and I radioed in. I'm like, hey, this is what I saw. Everybody's like, yep, just stay in there.
Yep, just don't move.
Yep. So I'm like, I don't want that fucking 400-pound black bear mom coming at
finding you. Yeah, they get really territorial. Yeah.
Well, and they actively like to hunt humans. Black bears and polar bears. Grizzlies, they're defending their fucking territory.
Pretty much. There's not enough
actively hunt humans
to be worth it really for them.
Right. So. But black bears, it's worth it for them to fucking take down a human being.
That's a lot of food.
And same with polar bears.
Yep.
And so those are the two species that will actively hunt humans. Yep. Well, we've got one out of the two here, and I don't like to fuck with them.
Did you hear about that guy from Canada? Not from Canada. The guy from Minnesota who went up to Canada to go grizzly bear hunting. He shot a grizzly bear, but when they DNA tested it, because they do that for some reason, kind of like when you shoot a deer, sometimes the DNR will like take a tooth out of it. You know? Turns out the grizzly bear he shot was 80% polar bear, so now they want to put him in jail for the rest of his life, basically. Because that's the thing. Like I told people, polar bears aren't going extinct. The dumb fucking polar bears that didn't leave the polar ice caps when they were melting are going extinct. They're moving further south every year in Canada, and they're interbreeding with grizzly bears, which are a close cousin. And they're turning into like the President Obama mochaccino bears now. Yeah. And people, some guy shot a grizzly bear, which I would have been like, that's a fucking grizzly bear. I saw the picture, and they're like, no, it's mostly polar bear. Genetically, yeah.
That's fucking stupid.
And so now it's this kind of gray area where they don't know if they can actually convict him or not.
Well, here's the thing is the problem is the government's that fucking powerful.
Yeah. But here's
That's
the thing.
fucked up.
He's an American citizen, and it's in Canada. The Canadian government wants to try him, and he went to the American government, and he's like, I'm an American citizen. And America basically went, dude, you shot a polar bear. You're going to pay for your crimes. Because Americans are apeshit for polar bears for some reason.
Because we don't have them here.
Pretty much.
Except in Alaska.
Except for Alaska, yeah.
Yeah. But like.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Also, I got to ask, do I miss negative 45 degrees Celsius? And sometimes a little bit. Most of the time, no. Sometimes a little bit. A little bit.
I don't know how you miss it at all. Like, what's the pros?
So I can appreciate, negative 20. But yeah, honestly, there's sometimes where it's like, I kind of wish it would get that cold here one time, so I could tell people, welcome to winter.
Dude, before you moved here, I'm telling you that fucking winter, 2012 to 13, our high for, I know, a couple weeks at least, our high was in the negative 10s.
Yeah.
And it was windy, and it was like you can't fucking go outside. Your car, like, I don't care how fucking new your car was. It's like,
yeah.
It's like it was that cold. It was negative 40 and whatever, and it's like, that's not fun. That sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, part of me, I want it just because I tell people how fucking cold it actually got there.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't uncommon to have like a day every winter where it'd be like negative 50 degrees Celsius.
Right.
And people cannot even register that level of cold in their heads.
Right. You go outside, you're out there for less than 5 minutes, you have frostbite.
5 minutes, you die.
Right.
At negative 50
Any
degrees.
exposed skin.
You don't have all the proper shit on, you die.
Right.
It freezes the water in your skin cells, any part of your skin that touches the air, instantly, like, second-degree burns.
Yep. Yeah,
so
it's and most people in the U.S., it's been to 0 here before. I'm like, yeah, it's cold.
Yeah.
But it can be worse. Trust me. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. And, like, people don't realize how, when I say, like, negative 56, I've seen negative 67. That's the coldest I've ever seen. And that's rough. That's your piss freezes before it hits the ground type of cold.
Why would you have your dick out?
Because you need to pee.
Here's the thing too, is as long as it's that cold and not windy, you can survive.
Yeah.
But if it's that cold and it's windy, you're fucked. You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
You can't piss. You can't expose any part of skin.
Or if you get that cold and then you get wet, or you start to sweat a little too much, or something.
Dude, that's
dead.
Yeah.
So
double fucked. Like, that's the thing is, like, we were talking about this on previous live streams and shit, but like the jet stream, the way it goes is it's not as cold as where you grew up, but like that same air comes down exactly.
That's why it gets cold in the Midwest, is because all of the air is coming from where I'm from to here.
Yeah. And it only comes in a small part of the U.S., which is North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and part of Illinois up to Chicago.
Yeah.
That's it. That's where the jet stream comes down and like the air flows. That's where it goes. And when I tell people that it's like it gets cold up here in the winter, they're like, oh yeah, it gets cold here too, from like the southeast.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it gets down to 0. I'm like, have you ever had highs that were in the negative teens below 0 for consistent days? Like, that is fucking insane. It's not a bigger dick thing. It's like, when that happens, we're not sitting there going, oh yeah, we're going to show you. We're just going, oh shit, am I going to survive this?
Yeah. Well, running into town is now a survival situation. Yeah.
Right. And when it's that cold, usually if you got heat in your house, you just stay inside.
Yep.
Because that's it. You can't fucking go outside. You'll get hurt really bad. And that's the only thing that's keeping you from getting one of those outside 12-hour wood furnaces, because you still have to go outside and feed it twice a day.
Yeah.
Versus inside, you have to feed it constantly because it's smaller.
But I mean, if winters are going to keep being this mild, though.
Hey.
Might as well, right?
I don't mind it, man. Yeah, I mean, 13 today wasn't bad because there was no fucking wind.
No, I spent most of the day outside.
Yeah,
I was
actually
wearing my M65. I don't even have the liner in it. I was just wearing this hoodie.
Yeah, you don't need it. Yeah, it's like, well, the hoodie is the liner. Like, let's be honest. But like,
fair. Yeah.
No, it's for the, here's the thing is, I say like when I actually ship things outside, and I don't use the heater, I'm like anything above 20 degrees is okay.
Yeah.
Now, when I'm outside, just kind of fucking around, walking around, doing whatever, I'm saying anything above 0 is okay as long as you're walking.
Yep.
Now, when you get below 0, that's when you start having problems. Anything below 0, 1 degree below 0, even 0 is fucking freezing.
Yeah.
But when you get below 0, you start having problems outside.
Yep. You start losing your fine motor skills. And like one thing they told us is like, they teach you is that once you can't touch all of your fingertips to your thumb tip, you're too cold to go inside. Seek warmth immediately. And that's a good test because you start to lose your dexterity when your muscles get cold.
Right.
And so if you can't touch so if you might notice that when you go out in the cold, it takes you a long time to just you might be able to do it, but it'll take you a lot longer than it should to just touch all your fingertips.
I remember one job I did in 2012 to 13, that really cold fucking year.
Yeah.
I used to work in a bucket truck. I used to be not an electrician, but like I used to work on electrical stuff like parking lot lights, the big 1,000-watt street lights that you see.
Yeah.
And we did a job in January of 2013 where I was to retrofit the old HID, like mercury fucking really bright lights to compact fluorescent fixtures, right?
Yeah.
Going from 1,000 watts of power to 320 per fixture, which was a big savings. Anyway, they're big, they're heavy, and you actually have to have dexterity to wire these things. Once you cut the power and all that shit, you have to wire them up. I literally remember, long story short, sitting in the bucket. It was windy. It was negative 25 air temperature, and the wind chill was negative 40 something.
Yep.
I have my hands like this in my coat, in gloves, warming up, and I went.
And you just do as quick as you can. Yep.
Exactly. And I went, and I'm trying to screw wire nuts on and like connect these fucking wires, all the while holding this like 60-pound fixture up. And all of a sudden my hands just literally
stop working.
And I'm like, come on, fuck. And then I'd have to just do that again. I just sit there for 15 minutes each time, just warming my hands up, moving them for them to work in that weather. And plus my face was just fucked. So I had to turn away. And it was miserable.
Yeah, it's terrible, but that's the rule of thumb, though. If you start to feel like your movement's restricted, touching all of your thumbs to your
fingers. It doesn't take long at all. Like people think it would take a while. 5 minutes out there, tops. And
you start taking nerve damage at that point when you can't feel when you can't touch all of your fingers to your thumb.
Well, you actually, if you actually measure the temperature of your fingers when it's that cold, the extremities, which all the blood goes out of at that point, measure like 70 degrees or 65 degrees Fahrenheit,
which is really low.
That's necrosis at that point. Your tissue dies at that point. And if you could still move it, it's like it's just weird. So
that's how you guys can tell if your body's cold or not.
Yep.
It's a good quick little check.
And once you start shivering, you are fucked. You need to get in, and not just get into a hot place. You need to gradually warm your body up, not just immediately shock it.
Naked and start sitting, with a blanket
away from the fire, and then gradually move towards it. Yeah, that's the thing. Is like heat exhaustion, heat stroke. On the opposite end of the spectrum, that sucks, and that's very fucking dangerous.
Yep.
However, I think cold damage is harder to deal with than heat exhaustion, heat stroke.
Well, heat exhaustion is basically, get water in you and cool down.
get in the shade, stop doing whatever you're doing. Yeah, cool down.
Yeah.
But it's also, it sucks because you're hyperventilating and your body's your core temperature is high.
Cold conditioning, if you heat up wrong, will kill you.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there's a whole thing to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just insane. But yeah. So I'm glad you get the cold, and I don't obviously get it as much as you do, but I've got some experience with really cold shit. And it's like you try to explain to people that think they've experienced cold, and it's not like a bigger dick thing. It's just like when I say cold, it's because it's lethal. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's like you go out there, you cannot stand out there. Like you have to be in a place that's heated.
Yep.
And even when you get cold, you can't just come inside and everything's fine. I've been sick. Like this year I got sick because I was out there one of the first cold days. My body wasn't acclimated to it. I sat out there and I shipped shit all day. I came in and I got sick. I was down, like I had to sleep for almost a day.
Yep.
And I felt like
it takes a lot out of your body. The cold takes so much out of your body. People don't realize how quickly it literally sucks the life out of you.
Right. So, and what's cool is too, I also have the genetics from being French Canadian.
Yeah.
To where I can get out there and my hands will get cold and all my body gets cold, and all of a sudden my body just kind of goes into overdrive and heats everything up so I can move my hands.
Dilates all your capillaries so you get
it's all red. It's all red and it feels tight, but I can still move it to an extent. Mm-hmm. And so I have that going for me. And it's like, as long as I can get cold, warm up for a little bit, all the blood gets flowing, I'm okay for a while. And then it takes its toll later. So
yeah. But I've seen people literally, the air's so cold, you breathe in and the little brachii in your lungs freeze shut because the air is that cold and you suffocate in the air.
Yep. And that's the thing that, another thing, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because when it gets down to like negative 20 and 30, you go outside and you go, and you start coughing.
Instantly. That's your lungs freezing.
Yeah, it's your lungs going, hey, not fucking cool. So you have to get something like a filter to breathe through just to get oxygen in there. And there's low oxygen too in the cold. Mm-hmm. So it's like,
on top of just being the driest air you'll ever encounter. Air in the winter is actually drier than air you'll find in the desert. So
it is. Having experienced both, yes, you're correct. It is because here's the thing: in Iraq, it's very dry and very humid. In Kuwait, it was very humid because you got the Persian Gulf with the humid air. But in Iraq, up in Baghdad, it was really fucking dry. However, it was still 20 to 30% humidity. It was like California, basically. Yeah. I hadn't been there, when I was in Iraq, but like I hadn't been to California after that, Southern California, LA.
Yep.
It's in the winter, Iraq is very similar to California weather. It's the exact same. 20 to 30% humidity and 80 degrees, whatever. In the summer, it was 10 to 15% humidity and fucking hot. It was 140 degrees that registered in the shade in Iraq. And in the winter here, it's 5% humidity.
Yeah, well, anything below 20 degrees, you're looking in usually 0 to 3% humidity.
Yep. And that is insane.
Yep. That's why so many people's ears and nosebleeds in the winter. It's because your capillaries are literally so dry that.
Yeah, right now it's starting, but it's not bad this year. But last year it was a little bit colder, and my nose was just fucking dry. But
yeah, well, if you're like me, your nose just bleeds all the time in the winter, just for no fucking reason because it's that dry. Yeah.
Well, mine it's a scab that forms on the septum. It's a scab that forms because it's so dry at night. Yeah, and it'll push out, and I have to grab the scab off to be able to breathe during the day. And it'll just fucking bleed. And it gets worse. Yeah. And it's like, God damn it. But this year hasn't been bad so far.
No, it's been, I think, probably the mildest winter I've ever experienced. So.
Dude, 0 to 20 degrees, I can deal with.
We've only gotten below 0 degrees, 3 days this year? And only by a few degrees.
Like 1 or 2 degrees below.
Yeah, but only by a few degrees. So can you even count it?
No, dude, again, I'm not bitching about this year's weather. It sucks that it's cold, and I'd like it to be warm and no snow and on ice in the driveway. But like, I can deal with this. If this is how winter is, so be it.
Summer's going to be hot as fuck though.
That's what you said last year, and it was hot, but it wasn't any hotter than usual.
No, but I have a bad feeling. We'll see.
Well,
I knew this winter was going to be mild. I expected a lot of snow, but I knew it was going to be a mild winter. But
no, you said it was going to be fucked. If we go back in the live streams,
you
said this winter's going to be long.
No, I said the Farmer's Almanac said
the Farmer's Almanac, right?
The snowest, coldest winter of the decade.
But they're not always correct.
No, I know they're not always correct, but that's just what I said. That's what the Farmer's Almanac said. So.
Yeah, but you also thought that, and it was like, we'll see.
Yeah,
like, I don't care. It's like oh, you were wrong. It's just no. Well, I'm glad you were.
Well, I'll take whatever for winter. Oh, winter's winter. So.
Yeah, and hopefully it only lasts 4 months instead of 7.
Into July.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we've been going for almost 2 hours.
That's right.
You gotta go to bed?
Pretty soon. Normally I like to cut the stream off at like 2 hours because after that people quit watching.
Well, we've got a pretty solid whopping 50 viewers. So
that's fair.
But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I guess that's all we've got. Surprised that 50 people were actually watching.
I know, right? But hey, well, we haven't done one in so long, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling a little bit better. Things are getting squared away, but yeah. All right. We will talk to you later, guys.